Okay, let's start. I think it's a bit too late to do this, but I decided to do it because many Anna players, they wanted a newer version of Anna guide video, and I agreed with that. Every time I hear that, I agreed, but I didn't have much time. I wanted to make things organized, but yeah, now I am doing it. Okay, I want to talk about what character Anna is. I want to talk about the charming point of Anna first. Like, what is Anna? If you think about Anna, many players will think it's about 50-50. Yes, it was. Actually, it was. But I think now Anna is a bit different from past Anna playstyle. You have to play a bit differently. If you are playing only heavy based on 50-50 with Anna, then I guess you are playing the playstyle you had to play in the past. Because before, yes, that's true. Anna's 50-50 was really strong, especially until arcade area. For example, like at least until tag 2. But now, I think it's different. You shouldn't rely on heavy-based crouch stance mix-up, which is Anna's trademark. But so I can lead you how you can win with Anna without risking too much. Because if you risk too much, you cannot win consistently. And I think now Anna can be played like that, not like other heavy fundamental based characters, but at least you can now play a bit more consistently without too risky mix-ups. Okay, let's start. So Anna, I want to say Anna is a character that you can poke with like down forward ones or down fours or even like down 3. It's like Kazumi, right? If you hear this kind of thing, like neutral down forward ones, down fours, it's like Kazumi. But it's a bit different because Anna doesn't have something that Kazumi does have. Kazumi has like good, really good fundamentals and things like that, like range. But Anna can risk and take advantage from it. This is a big thing. So if you wanna, if someone asks me how can you define Anna, then I'll say, yeah, poking is good, but if you want to win the round that you are losing like hell, if you want to win someone who is better than you, then you can make that happen with Anna because you can take a lot of damage from risky moves. But also, if you want to play safe, you can do it. And Anna has good counter hit moves like QCF1, Magic 4, and she even has like down for 1+2, which is a guard breaker. So counter hit moves are also good. It's not bad, obviously. So if you want to play fundamentals with Anna, you can do it. But of course, since she has a lot of tools to rob the round, it's risky. It's risky, and her fundamentals has a lot of weaknesses. Okay, let's talk about it. So what kind of moves Anna have? I want to say I want to start with mids. What kind of mids Anna has? I can't just tell everything on the frame data, but so that I wrote some good mids you can use with Anna. I'll start with down forward one. It's the most basic one. It's like most basic down forward one. This down forward one was really short in the past, but they buffed down forward one. That is the good thing. You can see that Anna goes a bit forward when she uses it. Before it was not like this. So if you wanted to poke with Anna's down forward one, you had to go really close, and that's of course risky because if you approach to opponent, you can get countered or you can get launched by good range mid launcher like Leo's down forward 2, but now it has more range, so safer. Before you had to do QCF crouch cancel stance to approach safely, but now you can use down forward 1 a bit safer. And you have homing move. This is really good keep out move you can use. It has good range and it's safe. If you can counter it, you can knock your opponent down. And of course, this move. This move is really good. Even Anna players who played Anna for years, they don't know how good this is, but whenever they come to my stream or whenever they play, see me play, they realize that this is really good. Because this move, if you use Magic 4 after this, you can counter it your opponent using while standing 4 because it's +1 frame. And even you can sidestep after this. Or you can do jab, or you can do dig jab, you can do down force. If you use down force, you will get hit by while standing 4, but they both hit. So it's really good. This kind of flowchart is really good when you want to end the round, when you know that you can end when you hit down 4, because even they use while standing 4, you guys will hit both, so you can win. This is not the main thing I wanted to talk about. I wanted to make you know that which kind of move Anna has as a good mids. Okay, let's start again. So this while standing 4 is also really good to use safely because it's only -6, and since they don't expect Anna players will use basic moves because they have biased thought about Anna players that they don't have fundamentals or they will not use basic moves, but yeah, we can use this, right? Because of the guard back, you can have good range to good distance to sidestep after getting blocked, and damage is also not bad. So while standing 4 is also good, and you can also use FF3. I will break down this FF3 really deeply to the bottom, so yeah, you can look forward to it. After that, of course, while standing 3 you can use it, but it is not good as while standing 4. If you use while standing 3 as a punish, it's better, but if you want to use it as a poke or try to change the timing of you, you can use while standing 4. And down forward 1+2. This move is also really good, but it is not like a king's guard break. It's shorter, and you have to use it at the right moment when you know that it has a bit high crush. If you can know the distance when it has high crush, you can use it really wisely. Okay, after that, this move is also good. This move, it is the only move that perfectly catches sidestep left. This is like the only mid that can perfectly catch sidestep left. So I will talk about it later again, but this is that kind of move. And you have strings from down forward 3. You can use this, you can use this, or You can use this. Yes, these kind of mids is also good. And this move. This move is also good because it's like, you know, why Akuma and Geese is good. It's because they can jump. They can jump over the moves. And why the jump of those two characters are good is that they have faster starting frame of jumps. Most moves, they have slower starting frame of jump than those two characters, but this move, it has faster starting frames. That's why you can use it to change up the timing and use some low crush move in an unexpected way. And next is uppercut, down for 2. You can use this to just launch your opponent who ducks a lot, because this is only -12 and it can launch your opponent when he's ducking. I think this down for 2 is underestimated, because most of the other characters down for 2 which launches is -13 frame. Of course, there are some broken down for 2 like Aganius, which is -11, but like Leo's down for 2 is -13. Josie's down for 2 is -13. But this one is only 12. And it's also 15 frame like others. So this down for 2 is really good. You can use it as moves that you can just use when you know that at that moment your opponent will duck. And lastly, you can also use F3. F3. Why this is good? I will show you one video about this, or you can just search it. On my YouTube channel there is video me versus I'm your father. You can use you can see me using this move really much. This move, it has second hit. It's only -11. Asuka's before they couldn't punish that well, but now they have 1-1-3. But this is only -11, and if you hit this move at the wall, you can easily use down for 1 combo. You can search it, you can see it, and you can also use combo with down for 1 if your opponent is close to the wall. You can easily use combo. You can switch the side. You can side step a bit and use combos. It's really good at wall. And of course, you can use some mental frames because of the second move. Second move is quite slow, so if you just use CJM after this, you can easily mix up. They are forced to press after this if you keep using mental frames. So it's good. You can use it. So these were the moves, mid moves you can use. And next, I want to talk about low moves. There are 7 moves, which starts from down 4. I will talk about it, and which starts with down 3. And you can also use down back 3 plus 4, and down forward 4 is really good. Sidestep 2, Chaos Judgment, down 3-3, and of course Anna's trademark full crush down for 2. Now I will talk about each move in details. Okay, I'll talk about this move now. Okay, this move. This move, it is really good at the wall because you can easily use combo after this. Like this, right? You can see. If you are a bit further from the wall, not this far. Let's say like this. Let's say like this. You can use combo like this. See? So that's why this move is really good. you can use big combo. So sometimes you can use this at the wall. I think this is like similar to some other characters' wall splat move. It doesn't wall splat, but you can give combo anytime, really consistently with down for 1. So, and you can also give a mental frames after this, like this. It's +4, but even though you get blocked, you can use your mental frames to mix up with down 3 strings, or like you can even use like this, or you can do like 1+2. You can do butt move. You can do whatever you want to do. It's just if you show sometimes this one only first hit, they are forced to press, and you can easily hit the second hit, and even the second hit only hits, you can use combo with down for 1. That's it. And why this is better than others, there is one more thing, that it is knee move. Asuka and other like Noctis, they cannot parry this because it's a knee. So you don't have to worry about getting parried. So against Asuka, this move is like gem. You have to use this to win. See how easy you can use combo. And you can also use this move, but down for 1 is more consistent. So I recommend you guys to use down for 1 after this. Okay, next move is down for 1, DF1. DF1 is +5 frame, and if it gets blocked, not that much minus, right? So this is really basic move. You can use down forward 1 like other down forward 1 moves, but if you use down forward 1 2, you can get more damage. The second one is high, but they cannot duck. It is like auto block, and you can use mental frames after that. And if you counter hit only the second hit, the third hit is guaranteed. So if you do like this, and if your opponent wants to punish after your down forward 1 gets whiffed, they will get countered by the second hit, and they will get the third hit is also guaranteed. If you are really skilled Anna user, you can easily notice that you can hit the third hit when you use it. And yes, that's it basically. And this down forward 1, you have to know which side it catches. Depends on the range. If it's really close, they cannot step this easily after like getting hit by down forward force. But if it's a bit far away, they can easily sidestep down forward 1. So it is inconsistent. So you have to know that down forward 1s can hit whiff easily if there is a bit of range distance between you and your opponent. So I recommend you guys to use at close distance. You guys can use with also while standing 1. You can use a QCF crouch stance move. This move is like something you have to train. I'll talk about it later. So what kind of strings Anna have after this down forward 1 2? Anna has down forward 1 2 3 and down forward 1 2 4. So what is the use of it? Of course, down forward 1 2 4 is to stop your opponent from pressing, or stop your opponent from trying to sidestep in not a really good timing. So you can use this to stop your opponent from pressing, and you can use this to force your opponent to duck after down forward 1 2. So what is good if your opponent duck after down forward 1 2? You can use mental frames. Like this is Tekken fundamental, but if you can force your opponent duck after specific moves, you can have mental frames. That is the most important thing here, because down forward 1 is only 13 frame, and if you use like down forward 1 2, and if you make your opponent duck because of the third hit, it's still your turn even down forward 1 2 is blocked. So you can use down forward 1 2 to down forward 1 2 if your opponent knows down forward 1 2 4 is high, or if your opponent is waiting for down forward 1 2 3. So you have to use wisely the mental frames. Don't be afraid even you get blocked down forward 1 2s. That is the point. You can use down forward 1 2 into sidestep. You can use down forward 1 2 into magic 4 because of the mental frames. If you know that your opponent will do immediately something because they know that you will use down forward 1 2 mental frames, then you can easily sidestep, or you can block patiently, whatever you can do. And down forward 1 2 3. This move, many Anna players doesn't know when they have to delay it or they shouldn't, because if you delay this down forward 1 2 3 like this, they can easily sidestep the third one, and they can even interrupt with jabs. So I recommend you to wisely know the timing when you have to use it immediately, because if you use immediately this, there are some characters they can sidestep the third one like Lily, but except those characters they cannot step the third one. That is the main point. If they want to sidestep block, for example, of course sidestep block is high level movement, but still, if they want to sidestep block after your down forward 1 2s because they don't want to get mixed up, they just want to block, they want to do defensive games, you can force them to just stay still, because this will catch down for sidestep blocks. They cannot do it. So you can use it like that, or you can stop them from pressing after down forward 1 2 3s. So this move is really good. Okay, next. Down forward 2s, I told you. You can use it when you know that your opponent will duck. And let's move on to this down forward 3s. So down forward 3s, some people wants to use down forward 3 3 3 as poking move, because it is mid high high, but it jails, so they cannot duck the second hit if you don't delay. But if you delay like this, they can easily duck. So if you want to use this, you shouldn't delay it. Of course, in specific situations, there are some timings that you have to delay, and it is better to mix them, mess your opponent's timing, but most of the time I recommend you not to delay it. And it has the force hit. It is plus 15. It is the same motion as CJM1, which is plus 14, but it's different. It is plus 15, so you can easily use down forward 2 after this. So even though you get blocked the third hit, you can use mental frames, but because the fourth one is high, but even it's high, it's plus 15. So you can use mental frames. You can even so many players who knows that the fourth one is high, they want to use like down fours or high crush moves, so you can see what your opponent's doing after you use the third hit, and you can parry or you can sidestep, even though it's minus like 9 frames after getting blocked. The next is this one. You can use this as wall combo, but you can also use this to poke. Some people will think, oh, but you have already down for 1 2. Why do we have to use down for 3 2? Because the high is second one is high, so it's risky, right? Yeah, I agree with you. Second one is high, so it's risky. But there are some things which is better than down for 1 2s. You can delay it like this. You see, right? Even you delay, the second one is guaranteed. So you cannot hit confirm it, but at least you can delay it, and even you delay, it will hit. So sometimes you can just use down forward 3. Just so first hit. It is 14 frame. You can have frame advantage plus 1 frame if you hit it, but you can also delay the second one. So at wall, it is good. And you can also use like this. So what is this move? What is this move about? If your opponent wants to punish the second high, they will get counter hit by the third one and they will get launched like this. Let's try. Like this. Some character which doesn't have high crush in their while standing tools, you can easily counter it like Kazuya or Jin, I don't know, like some other characters which while standing 2 doesn't have high crush. So I use this a lot to mess up their mind games, you know. So yes, I recommend you to use a lot of moves as you can with Anna, because every move has their own function, their own role in the game. It's not like Kazumi or some other characters which has like perfect fundamental moves, because Anna's move, they lack something. Like, it is not perfect. You cannot play with only some moves that is really good. Anna doesn't have that kind of move. So you have to use as many moves as you can. You have to mess up your opponent's mind. You have to try to knowledge check character which doesn't have that perfect moves. You have to mess up your opponent's mind with many moves, and since you are an Anna player, you have to have more knowledge than your opponent does. Next, this one is the only mid move that can catch sidestep left except homing move. Okay, this move. So sometimes, like if you hit down forward fours, your opponent goes to left side. It makes your opponent goes to the left side, right? Like this. It goes to the left side. And more hitbacks if you hit it. So at this range, really close, if it's really close, they can't sidestep down forward once, but they can sidestep when it is there is a bit of distance. I'll show you. When it's like this, you cannot sidestep, right? But when it's like this, you can sidestep. So you have to use other moves to catch sidestep left. And what is it? It is this move, down back 1. So you can feel safe when you are at a really close range to move down, to use down forward ones to catch sidestep left. But if there is a bit of range, you have to use down back 1 when you know that your opponent will sidestep left. That is the point. So if your opponent is like the axis is like this, your opponent is at a bit left side of you, then at this range, the best move you can use is down back 1. And of course, there is a move from stance, QCF stance, like QCF 4, which catches sidestep left pretty well, like not perfect, but really well. But you have to use QCF to do it. That is the point. So that was down back 1. And what is good about this? Down back 1 also has a string, which is down back 1-4. So if you know that your opponent will press after blocking down back 1, you can sometimes use this. It is really risky if your opponent knows that about this move. I don't want to talk about it because we want Anna players to win. But this move is a bit risky. But if you know that your opponent will press something after, you can use this one. Second one, you can launch if it counter hits, and if even you know your down back 1 will counter it, you can use it, because second hit it's guaranteed if down back 1 is counter hit. Okay, next is this move. This move is weird. Why it is weird? Because you have to use it to know it. You will know when it is good if you use it. That is, I cannot say anything about this. It's really weird move. Yeah, it is like, it is good. You just have to use it. You can check when I use it if you watch my videos. And next, this FF3. Okay, this FF3 is like main move of Anna. Many people will pick FF3 as Anna's best move. For Anna's opponent, it is really hard to deal with it because it is dash move, and basically, if the move is starting with dash, it catches sidestep of it a bit. If you can also change up your timing with like if you dash in deeply like this, or you can just dash a bit like this. So you can change up your timing, and you can even just pretending you're using it and force your opponent to react to it. So I'll show you something. Imagine your opponent wants to sidestep duck after blocking QCF1. Let's think about it like that. Then I'll show you. One of the flowchart many Ana users use is QCF1 into FF2. Like this. This is good because QCF1 is +3 and FF2 is 15 frame, and many people want to sidestep after blocking QCF1, so QCF1 FF2 is a good flowchart. But what if they just sidestep duck? Let's see what will happen. Like this. What if they do like this? Then they can also sidestep this flowchart. Like this, right? Sometimes you can like this, but if you delay it, like this, they cannot. It's impossible. So you have to know how to change your timing to catch your opponent's movement at specific situations. So it's like Jack's FF1. Jack's FF1, good players, they change timing of dashing and they catch sidestep, even that move itself doesn't catch that side. That is the main point of this move. So I talked about this, how to change timing, FF3. And next is when you have to use FF3. FF3 has a lot of uses. You can, for example, your opponent uses jab when you approach. Okay? If your opponent wants to use jab at specific timing, and if you know that, what will you do? There is no much thing Anna can do at this range. The only thing you can do, not the only thing, there are a lot of options, but one of the options is ff3. Because it's really hard to counter hit jab. Of course, you can use QCF1, but it's hard to counter hit jabs. So what you have to do to win that round, to rob that round, you have to use ff3. I'll show you. Like this, it punish, right? So you have to predict when your opponent will use jab. There are specific timings your opponent wants to press jab. You can use this faster than the jab or slower than the jab. You can change the timing. It depends. If you want to stop your opponent from using electrics, Mishimas electrics, I recommend you guys to press faster than electric, because if electric has a lot of range, right? If you want to punish the electric, you have to be really far away, because electric will you will block the electric if you are closer. So it is hard to trying to punish the electric with ff3 at that moment. So at a closer range, I recommend you to press earlier. But like jabs, or you know that your opponent will use some move to keep out, but it doesn't have that much range or something like that, you can predict the timing of that move and use ff3 after that move, or you can use even faster than that move your opponent will use. So that is how to use ff3 in a clever way. It's not just that to just spam ff3 4-3. It's not like that. You have to know why you're using it, when you're using, what is your purpose of using ff3. It's not just spamming ff3 4-3. And okay, I talked about how to change the timing of f3, how to use the ff3 in a clever way, and next one is when you should use ff3 4-3, because ff3 4-3 is really good. It is only -1. You can do some mind games after it if it gets blocked. But the only drawback is it doesn't have much damage if even you hit the first hit. That is the point. So you have to know when you will use ff3 or ff3 4-3, because the damage is different. So when will you use ff3 4-3 than ff3? That is the thing many Anna players has to think about it. When will we use ff3 4-3 over ff3? If you know, if you have purpose for using ff3, if you are really sure that you will catch your opponent's sidestep or your opponent crouching, then I recommend you to use ff3. But if you're not sure 100%, then it's when you use ff3 4-3. Because Tekken, every time you use some moves, timing always changes, the situation changes. So if you knew that your opponent will use jabs, for example, but they didn't use jab, and you can see that your ff3 will whiff at a really dangerous range, then you can use all 3 hits. You can feel that in the game. Your ff3 will whiff at a really dangerous range. And there is one more thing. Many people can't punish FF3 because FF343, right? But actually, FF343 is a jailing move, so it doesn't matter if it's FF3 or FF343. They can just use jabs, and if you use jab between FF343, your jab will not work, so you will block anyway. But there is one secret about this. Sometimes, if you use FF343, second one whiffs, so third one hits. I'll show you. If you use FF343, I told you this 3 hit all jails, right? But at some distance, at some axis, second one doesn't get blocked. I'll show you. Like this, right? Like this. Like this, right? See, if this happens, and if your opponent knows that, oh, all 3 hits they jail, so I can just press no. It is not like that. In this situation, if they try to punish with using the jailing move, they will get hit by third hit. And if they get hit by the third hit, it is plus 10, so you can use CJM 2-1 as guaranteed. I don't think many people know this. So this is one moment when you have to use FF343. If you know that you will get blocked FF3 at specific distance when the second hit will get whiffed, I use FF343. I can feel that in the game, because in the game you get more sharper. You know the situation, what's happening. It's not like practice mode, right? You know when you have to press the third hit over just FF3. Okay, I told you one thing, but this is a really high level thing. Only when your opponent knows Anna really well, you can use this as mind game. Then you can fuck up their mind games. Okay, so I will introduce, I will tell you about this situation, right? This situation. It's -1. To explain about this, I want to talk about down 4 Chaos Judgment together. Let's because down 4 Judgment is +1. See, it's +1, but this is -1. So what you can do in both situation. Let's start with FF3. To do that, I want to go to Infinite Stage. Yeah, it is true that if FF343, the second hit only hits, you can use combo, but that is a different story. Why second hit only hits sometimes? Why do you think like that? It's because the first hit, if they want to punish the FF3 first hit whiff, for example, they were sidestepping to the left and they know the first hit whiffs, and they just press and they get hit by second hit, and you guys can use combo. But it doesn't depend on you. It is not an active thing. It just sometimes happens because your opponent press at that moment, right? So it's not on you. I want to talk about things that is on you when you will intentionally press the third hit or not. Okay, let's start this. Okay, this is -1, and you can do a lot of things after this. To do this, I want to talk about the moves and a half from Chaos Judgment. Okay? From this Chaos Judgment, you have 1, you have 2, 1, you have 3, you have down 3, you have hop kick. So this is the fastest move. It's 10 frame. And this is 11 frame. This is 12. But From here, you can see it's minus 12 frame, so you have to use it really wisely. And this is 0 on hit, but it has second hit. Okay, so you can use mental frames after with this move. And there is hop kick, which is minus 13. And you can use also, you can input down forward after CJM, and it will lead you to QCF move. So you can use QCF moves after this. And you can also input FF. This will give you rolling stance. This is the only stance you can use. This is the stance you can only use as CJM. Okay, I told you. And from rollings, there are two moves. You can use 3 or you can use 4. 3 is a launcher, but it's minus 11 frame. But it's really hard to punish because the only thing your opponent can do is dig jab. Because Anna is on crouch stance and it's only minus 11. They cannot punish with jabs. And this is plus frames. It is also launcher, but it is plus 12 frames. But of course, your opponent can duck and launch you, but they will not because of this move. Okay. Now let's get back to this move. So it's minus 11, minus 1. So what can you do after this? If your opponent uses like down forward ones and slow moves, you can use this, right? It is 11 frame. Down forward 1 is 13 frame, basically, mostly, right? So you can easily hit this move. And if you hit this move, it's plus 14. And so this move is guaranteed. But this move, of course, many female characters can slap back. So if it's female, I recommend you to use just butt. And so that's it. If your opponent uses like some down 4 moves, which is slow, some moves that has high crush, like Anna's down 3, then you can use this mid. Okay, you can use this mid because it's 12 frame. If you use this, you cannot hit high crush moves, but this you can easily do it. And this is really fast. It's 12 frame. So, for example, if you didn't do anything after this, then your opponent, for example, your opponent didn't do also anything. Then, so you guys are frozen together. At that moment, the best move is this one because it is mid. It gives combo after counter it. Yeah, it is good. You can also use this move, but this is better when you both froze and Anna is in CJM. Okay. So if your opponent does jabs, sometimes this can win, sometimes it can't. Let's do with Anna. So you have to know which characters can beat Anna's down 3-3 with jabs. Anna's jab you can win with down 3-3, but other characters, some characters you can't. I'll show you. Law players, they know they can use this. See? This is 10 frame. So think about it. What can you do? What can you do? You can do nothing, right? You can do nothing. You can think like that. You can do nothing. But this move also can catch rolling stance. See? You cannot do rolling. You can evade the first hit, but the second hit will hit. Then what will you do? Many Ana players will think, oh, you cannot do anything because this wins everything, but there is one thing you can do. And this move can make your opponent not to use this. It's QCF1. I told you that if you press down forward after CJM, you can go into QCF stance, right? And that QCF stance has high splat, high crush. So let's see. For example, you have to use it a bit slower, like this, like this. See? So there is always a way. You have to find it by yourself, because I cannot tell every characters. But you have to know which option you have, which option you will try in the game. You have to have strengths to figure out by yourself. You have to know which options you have. Okay, let's go back. So I told you about the moves you can use. Basically, it's about frames, right? It is -1 frame, so you have to think about that, which move your opponent does, and you can choose the moves you can use according to that. 10 frame, 11 frame, 12 frame with mid, and sometimes you can crush jabs with this, but some characters you can't, and sometimes you have to use QCF1, but you have to do a bit slowly like this, because you have to give Ana time to use the high crush of QCF. And what if your opponent do option select like sidestep left duck? Sidestep left duck is really good, or sidestep right duck is really good against Ana's moves, Ana's stance. Then what will you do? You have to know, right? You have to know. To know this, you have to know which move Ana has from QCF move. That is the point here. Okay, so let's move on to the moves Ana have from QCF. These are all connected, okay? So I told you how to use CJM move from FF3+3, and I'm still going on, okay? But I want to jump into QCF move to explain in details how you can cope with the situation after FF3-4-3 block situation. Okay, from QCF stance you have QCF1, QCF2, 1, QCF3, 2, and QCF1. These are the one you can use after CJM QCF. Of course, if you use just QCF, you can cancel it, right? You can cancel it. You can use this, you can use this. But if you use, if you hold down forward after CJM, you can only use these four. Only. This you have to know. Of course, you have this move, but I never use it. Okay, so let's focus on these four. What kind of functions they have? Okay, QCF1, it catches sidestep left pseudo perfectly. Okay. It is high move, it has counter hit, as I showed you against Law, and it is +3 frames, so you can use the plus frames. If your opponent press anything that doesn't have high crush, you can counter it with Magic 4. You can even counter it with down for 1, because it's a 12 frame counter hit move. This is the perfect move you can use if you know the opponent wants to press anything. And of course you can do down back 1 4. This is also something Z is guaranteed, the second hit is guaranteed if counter hit, and it is -10, but you can see how much distance it has after getting blocked, so it is kind of safe. And yeah, so there are many things you can do. You can do everything you can do from +3 frame in close range, okay? And so this catches sidestep left. But what if, say, just do sidestep left, sidestep left dog? Then you can use this QCF4. This catches sidestep left pretty well. And of course it's a mid, so you can catch your opponent trying to crouch. So this is the best option for a sidestep left duck option selecting. But what about sidestep right? Then you have this. Is this? I'll tell you in details about this right now. This move is like Lily's QCF1-2. You can hit confirm if you practice a bit. It's not that hard. It's easier than this. So you can hit confirm the second hit, and if the first one get blocked, it's only -12. And if you counter hit this move, you can get combo like this. And this move can go into CJM stance. Okay, so here you can also use a combo. So, but I mostly hit confirm it, so I just use it like this because I already decided to hit confirm, not to use combo after counter it. But I sometimes use only this, okay? Sometimes I just make my mind to use just first hit, then I can use combo of course, right? And so this move catches sidestep right. So after this, if your opponent tries to sidestep right a duck option select, this is the only thing you can catch it. You can stop your opponent from doing that. Only thing. Remember, you have to know this because many Ana players doesn't know what to do after this. After using this, and if your opponent trying to sidestep right duck, they don't know what to do, but you can use this, okay? So that's it. You now know everything you can do after Ana's FF343. If you are not at the maximum level of it, I'll show you something. It's really, I know that some Ana players know this, and I know that I also learned from them, but I'll show you something really, really interesting. Many people know that Akuma's that move which shouldn't exist wins everything after Ana's FF3+3. This move, right? Right? But the only thing Ana can avoid is this move. Like this. See? So this, you have to use it when it's Akuma. You have to. And yeah, the only usage of it, this move is this. Okay, I think I did everything. And so this I talked about FF3+3, 343 CJM, so let's talk about this one, okay? Down 4. Okay, down 4 CJM, it's +1. So in this situation, I use CJM1 a lot because it's 11 frames, so it hits at the same timing when your opponent press jab. And if you hit together, Ana has more advantage. I'll show you. Okay. This is guaranteed, right? This is guaranteed. But you can see how much frame Anna has. 17 frames, 17. And also, you can use Rage Art after this situation because it's 17 frame and Anna's Rage Art is 13 frame. And all the others are same because it's +1. You can think about it now. Since you have a brain, you can think about the frames. This one can win everything except High Crush. This one can counter everything except jabs. Yeah, basically. I think I finished good mids you can use, right? I did QCF moves. I did CJM moves. Now I have to talk about the lows. Lows. This down 4. Down 4 is -2. But you have to know this full crush down 4 is the full crush down 4 is -4. Different. It looks same but different. You have to know this. So what is good if you know this? Then you can have strengths how to cope with the opponent who press something after this, because for -4 frames it is hard to sidestep. I'll show you. If you use jab, he will get countered, right? Because it's -4. But if you just do a down 4 after the down 4, you can sidestep. So -2 and -4 is different. You have to know why you can sidestep and why you can't. And this is also -15 frame on block. So you have to be really careful. So I recommend you to use the second hit of it. Second hit. Or you can also use sidestep. Okay? Sidestep. And there is one thing that you have to know. You can delay down 4-1, right? Like this. But from crouch stance down 4, you cannot. You have to just use it. So, yeah. And if only the second hit counter hits, like this, you can see it's +11 frame. Magic 4 is guaranteed. But also 1-2 is guaranteed. 2-3 is guaranteed. Not on the side. 2-3 is guaranteed, right? It is one whole combo. Yeah. And you can do like CJM mix up. And so you can use this mind games. If your opponent likes to punish after down 4, you can just use the second hit and get. I show you. Everything is better to show you. Okay. I want to punish this like with while staying with 3, but you can see I get countered like this. So it is really powerful because Anna also can go into stance. So they have to choose. Either they will punish, even they can get counter hit, or they have to block it. If they block it, they have to get into Anna's mix-up, or they cannot punish even they block. That's it. So you can use this like a plus frame if you can condition it well. You can use sidestep after this. You can use backdash. You can even use more down force after getting in the crouch stance, because this makes Anna into crouch stance, right? So you have to use full crouch down 4, and as I told you, full crouch down 4 is really dangerous to use because it's minus 15, so I recommend you to use second hit, or you can use mini games. And most of the players, they are used to press after getting hit by down 4 because down 4 is minus 2. Every character, other character which has generic down 4, it is minus 2, so it is safe to press, right? But Anna has second hit. Anna also has siege again. If they are used to pressing after down 4, you can use this to get good combo. Okay. And next low is down back 3+4. Down back 3+4. I use this as combo mostly, and it sometimes catches sidestep left. Okay, if you want to catch sidestep left with low, you can use this, but it is really risky, and my 24 frames is really low, really slow, really slow. So you have to use it when you can know that your opponent is frozen. And next low is down 3. I value this down 3 really high. Down 3 is minus 3 frames, but it comes from crouch stance, so it has high crush, and it also, you can use mind frames because it has good follow-ups. Okay, it has down 3-4, down 3-2, and this down 3-2, it is buffed. Before it was minus 15 like Tag 2 eras, but it is now only minus 13, so it is kind of safe to use it. So sometimes you can use it, okay, if your opponent wants to punish your down 3. And you can also have this one, you can have also this one. Okay, you can all use as mind frames. And next is this down 4-4. You know, you can see how much damage this has. You can see, right? A lot of damage buff this season. And after, if you counter it, you can do a lot of moves. I use down back 4 for that damage. Look at this. Imagine if Anna is on rage. Yeah? Imagine. Wow, the damage. 48. So down 4-4 is really good when you want to rob that round. It has high spec. The move is really good. It is +5 and make your opponent in the crouch stance. So how can it be better, right? The only drawback this has is it's minus 15 frame. It's not like other lows. It's minus 15 sadly, but this is really good. This can make you rob the round. Yeah, you have to use it wisely. If you use a lot of other lows like down 4 mix-ups, down 4 mind games, down 3 mind games, it is kind of safe. Not safe, but. And next low is sidestep 2. Sidestep 2. It is only like 13 damage, and even you hit, it is 0, but oh yeah, minus 12 frame. Yes, minus 12 frame, but if you counter it, it is plus 14. It's like Fang's down for 1. Okay, so yeah, you can poke with this. It's a poking move. When you can use this, you can use it from down 4 like this. Yeah, or you can use from like this, right? Or you can just use like this. It's like Claudio's sidestep 3, but worse. Yeah, just like that. Okay, next low. Chaos Judgment down 3. You can do Mind Games. And full crush down for 2. Okay. To explain about this low, you have to know Anna's while standing moves. So I'll talk about while standing moves together.